Hello guys! Welcome back to our channel, our humble abode, BLDG Production. So sa araw na ito is napakabalad natin ulit kasi pinagbigyan tayo ng ating kaibigan para sa isang interview. So it's something very informative, very educational yung vlog natin ngayon. So sa mga interested yan na maging English teacher dito sa Spain, okay, particularly dito sa Madrid halimbawa, then tutok kayo sa aming channel. Ayan, so sa araw na ito, ayan, so kasama natin si Charisma Velandes Grandes, tama ba?
Yes, that's right, yeah. That's
so, I've known her since 2012,
12, I guess.
2012, nung bagong dating mo dito
That's
sa
right,
Spain, di ba? So, you were a client. So, BPI client siya dati. Ayan, so, tapos, kailan ka nag-start mag-teach?
Okay, let me see, 2015.
In 2015. So,
2015.
I think nung nasa RIA na ako, sa new employment ko is, na-mention niya na, na nagtuturo na siya. So,
That's right, yeah.
It's very interesting malaman sa vlog natin ngayon kung paano yung journey niya from yung previous employment at saka yung pagiging teacher niya sa ngayon.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
please stay tuned guys. Alright guys, so let's get started. Let's get to know more about Charisma, okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Charisma Velandes Grandes and I'm quite excited to be doing this interview with Brad. Talagang na-excite ako. So I just turned 36 years old last June and I'm married. I have 3 kids. Yung dalawa na sa Pilipinas and I just gave birth to my third one last 2009. And I'm quite happy to tell you na isa ako sa mga teachers dito sa Madrid.
Wow! Okay, thank you so much, Charisma, for that introduction. So, by the way, when did you arrive here in Spain?
Okay, so I came here last 2012. My mother had decided to process my papers. So thankfully, nag-sign yung employers niya. So voila, here I am.
Oh, that's nice. No?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to have our parents, our relatives here so that we'll be able to come in to Spain.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right. So, could you describe or could you give us your previous employments before being employed as an English teacher?
Okay, so well, the first 3 months was very tough for me. I mean, coming here, so without any how to say experience in working. So I was a nanny for like 3 years. So I became the replacement for my mother's work. So I work as a nanny for 3 children. So talagang medyo mahirap because this place was quite far. It's quite far from our own country, and the main thing that really stressed me out was the language barrier. Talagang iba yung culture dito, iba yung lifestyle. So I was a bit culture shocked during that time. Pero thankful lang ako kay Lord dahil binigyan niya ako ng strength to go through everything or to went through everything. So yeah.
Okay, so you started as a nanny, no?
That's right, yeah.
How long?
Well, I'd work 3 consecutive years as a nanny until such time na na-realize ko, that was in 2015, so I'd realized that I wanted something more. So I decided to have a change of career path. So that was it. That was in 2015. So 2012 until 2015, I was a nanny.
Okay, so when you were a nanny, how was your Spanish language?
Oh my! As what I've said, it was quite hard, the language barrier. So talagang mahirap kasi nga ang Spanish, when you come here, talagang ang Spanish is medyo mahirap para sa ating mga adults na to learn. Pero eventually, I get the hang of things. Medyo natuto na rin, pero hindi masyado. So far, okay na rin yung Spanish ko.
Could you describe, maybe this is one way to help the newbies, no? Those who recently came, for example, recently arrived here in Spain, how did you learn Spanish? Did you learn it on your own or did you go to school, something like that?
Well, I learned it. I learned it on my own kasi wala akong time to go to a Spanish class. So what I did, I usually talk to the children that I took care. So yung mga words ko, yun ang ginamit ko na, how do you say it, like a way na matuto akong mag-Spanish. So yun, tapos once in a while I watch movies in Spanish. So that was it.
Alright, so let's proceed with our next question. What prompted you to pursue English teaching? Who motivated you to pursue this career? But before you answer that, did you have any teaching background in the Philippines? Because this is good to know also for those who would like, okay, to teach English, because they say, for instance, I did not finish English teaching, but how could I be able to teach if I don't have any teaching certificate in the Philippines, something like that, okay?
Well, the thing is, I wasn't an English teacher, so I took up BS nursing in Philippines, so it was different from teaching, having to teach children in a classroom. But the thing is, you don't have to be a graduate of education. All you have to do is you try or you practice your English, practice the language. We all know that English is the main language in the Philippines, or the second language in the Philippines. So it wasn't hard because from primary to secondary until college we have this subject, English subject. So I guess it wasn't so hard. So for those who have this interest or those who want to be a teacher, don't be scared. I mean, you can do it as long as you can speak English, so everything will follow, so don't worry about it.
So what do you think is the basic requirement that they see so that you will be able to teach English here?
Okay, so that's a good question, Brad. I think here in Spain you have to have a certificate. So I think, but if you were a graduate of a BS education, so there's no need. I've known other teachers who just presented their diploma because they were teachers back home. So some of the schools or academies have accepted them. So you don't have to have a, but the most important thing is you have to have a certificate, like a TEFL certificate.
Okay, so you did that, no?
Yes, I did that one,
that.
yeah.
Alright, so did we answer this already? Who motivated you to pursue this career?
So that's right, yeah. Well, aside from my husband and my mother, two special people had really motivated me to do this course. So they were a huge help for me during the course. So they helped me with my lesson plans, prepare my lesson plans, and naging inspirasyon ko silang dalawa because one of them was also taking CELTA course. So CELTA is a bit similar to TEFL, but then CELTA is much more advanced than TEFL. So they were there coaching me about the grammatical structures, the vocabulary, and so on and so forth. So they were such a good the best help I've ever had during that time.
Okay, thanks so much, Charisse. Well explained. Okay, so let's proceed with our next question. Okay, what preparation did you do to become an English teacher here in Spain?
Okay, so, well, it's all started in 2015. So I took a TEFL course.
Can you say something about TEFL course?
Okay, so
what does it stand for?
Oh, yeah, okay, so we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Sorry, Brad. So a TEFL course, so it's I took it in Cali, at EBC International TEFL House. It's in Calle Orense, I guess, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it's in Nuevos Ministerios. So you can do the online training or you can do the actual training course. So what I did, I chosen the actual training course because I think nothing beats the first-hand experience, right, Brad? After the course, they usually give you the certificate. So those are the TEFL and the TESOL certificate. So the TEFL and TESOL certificates are highly valuable because they show that you have the skills or the capability to teach English. So I took TEFL course in 2015. After the course, they usually give two certificates. So the TEFL and the TESOL certificates. these certificates are highly valuable because they show that you have the skills to teach both the English and non-English speaking countries. So TEFL is like, it means teaching English as a foreign language. So you can use this certificate to teach in non-English speaking countries, like for example Spain, China, or even Philippines. TESOL, on the other hand, stands for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. So you can use this certificate to teach to countries like UK or America. So you go there and then you present these certificates, and then they allow you to teach to their academies or even their schools. So yes, that's right, yeah, TEFL and TESOL. So I got the two certificates, which became my passport to teach, to venturing into teaching world.
All right, so this is just to clear out, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had already, no, you had obtained these two certificates to be able to apply, no, as
That's
English
right.
teacher here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to take note that, guys. Okay. All right, so let's proceed. Okay, so this is very interesting to know because, of course, if you would like to land a teaching job here, okay, it's quite, maybe you're thinking it's quite expensive, so how much? So this is very interesting question. Okay, so how much did you spend to get an English teaching certificate, or how much did you spend during the preparation? Okay.
Well, sometimes I know some people think of the cost. I mean, yeah. Well, during that time, my mother and I paid 1,300 euros for the course. I know it was a lot of money during that time.
1,300.
Yes, 1,300.
1,300.
Yes. That was for the whole course. I don't know if it has the same amount of payment today, but during my time, it was 1,300 euros. Aside from that, I'd also save or spent an amount for my photocopies, my printouts ko, yung snacks ko, and once in a while I went out with my colleagues, those students who were also taking TEFL with me. So I think it was around like 1,500 euros.
The whole.
Yeah, that's right, as a whole. I know it was a lot, pero kailangan talaga, if you really wanted to be a teacher, then you have to pay a bit higher than usual.
What was the duration of the course? That was intensive course.
Exactly, yes,
Okay.
yes. It was intensive and rigid training for a month. So it's like a 4-year course of BS education fused into a month. So I'd learned a lot of things. So they get to, so the teacher, by the way, his name was John. He's half Norwegian, half British. He taught us about planning our lesson plans and how to interact with their students, because during that time we had this 2 days exposure. It means that we get to teach for 2 days. So we had adults as students. We have beginners, intermediates, and advanced. Those are the level of the students that we had that time. So it was quite intense. Okay, just to clarify, guys, 1,500 was the previous payment. That was in 2015. So maybe this year, the recent year, they've changed. There were changes. So I think it's more or less 2,000 euros now. So, and the owner of the school will ask for like identification or something that you can present. For example, your transcript of records or diplomas, before you can start the course, or before the school allows you to start the course. So that was it. So before you start the course, try to figure out some things, or try to gather certificates or something that you can present to the owner of the school.
Alright, so let's proceed with our next question. So we would know in our next topic about the exams that she has taken to be able to land a teaching job. Okay, so what exams did you take, Charis, and how did you find these exams?
Okay, so before you can start the course, or before the school allows you to take the course, the school usually sends some questions via email. So these questions are questions that they use to gauge how much and how deep is your knowledge about the language. So it was like preliminary exams. The thing was, it was a bit nerve-wracking that time because it had been quite a while that I'd seen grammatical structures and vocabulary being presented right in front of my face. But the thing is, it was also helpful. And aside from that, within the course, you have to provide a motivational paper. So you parang essay yon or research within, wherein you have to put all your ideas. So if you've done the motivational paper at na ano mo yung preliminary exams nila, like a formality sake, yun ang pinipresent nila preliminary exams. That was before, pero ngayon talagang very rigid na sila, so you really have to pass the preliminary exams before you can start the course. So there was a big difference during our time. Parang hindi masyado. Pero ngayon, kailangan mo talagang maging ready just in case they give you a series of questions. So that's right. Yeah. Okay, guys, actually, maraming certificates that you can acquire. So TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language. TESOL, teaching English to speakers of foreign languages. Meron din tayong TEL, I think teaching English for young learners. So I don't know if IELTS is under all the certificates, pero marami tayong certificates na pwedeng maging passport to become a teacher. I mean, you can use them to apply for different schools or different academies. So guys, aside from the TEFL courses, you can also take the CELTA courses. So CELTA courses are sponsored by the Cambridge University. So, yung CELTA students are required to complete the 120 hours of class time. Ganun din sa TEFL course. When I had my TEFL course, I completed 120 hours. Tapos yung some CELTA schools offer a full-time basis of training. So, 1 month. Like 4 weeks of training, so a month of training. Ganun din sa TEFL, so a total of 1 month rigid training. Tapos, yung CELTA, nag-offer din sila ng part-time basis of training. So, pwede mo siyang tapusin for 3 to 4 months pag medyo hindi ka pwedeng mag-full-time training. But the downside is, not all those who take ng CELTA courses can acquire the certification. Why? Dahil CELTA is an extraordinary, intense course compared sa TEFL. So very rigid, very intense. At I can say non-natives like us will find it a bit difficult. So talagang magsa-study ka. And the teacher usually covers heavy content subjects. So talagang medyo mahirap-hirap gawin ng CELTA. But I'm not saying that it's not possible to pass CELTA. A bit difficult lang compared sa TEFL courses. So that's it, guys. The cost. So CELTA, the range of the cost of taking CELTA course, more or less 1,500 to 4,000 euros. TEFL course can take as much as like 1,000 to 2,000 euros. So medyo affordable yung TEFL course. So, it's up to you guys kung ano yung gusto nyo, TEFL or CELTA, as long as you can have the certificate. So, that's it.
Let's say, for instance, I would like to apply as an English teacher. So, I finish a certain course in the Philippines, but I don't like to go to an academy to take that intensive course because it's very expensive, right? So, can I have, or do I have a chance to be able to be an English teacher here even if I don't have this TEFL or TESOL certificate?
Okay, so there are cases that you can also apply as an English teacher dito sa Madrid. So aside from the actual training, you can also do online. If you think na medyo mahirap yung TEFL at medyo mahal, you can do the online. But if you don't have the means na talagang makakuha ng mga certificates na ganun, either online or the actual training, so pwede rin yung i-present mo yung diplomas mo that you'd finished education back home, or you had a degree. So siguro there are cases na siguro in-honor din yun ng academies or mga schools na ina-applyan ng isang aspiring teacher. So you don't have to be scared as long as meron ka ng diploma. So I think it matters na magkaroon ng diploma aside from the certificates.
Okay, so thank you so much for that info, Charis. Okay, so let's proceed with our next question now. After getting your English certificate or English teaching certificate here in Spain, was it easy to find a job related to teaching?
Well, it was harder that time because of I had to stop working for like 3 months prior and after the course. Prior kasi kailangan ko pa ng preparation to start the course, and after the course, kailangan ko mag-job hunting. So it was harder still dahil meron akong family who were needing my they needed a financial support during that time. Pero it wasn't hard as long as meron kang certificate. So in my case, it wasn't so tough. So the moment I received my certificates, I revised my CVs, my curriculum vitae, and then I submitted my CVs to different schools and different academies. And thankfully, a director from one of the academies here in Madrid had emailed me, and she told me that she had set up an interview. So I went there and presented myself, and she asked me a series of questions related to teaching. And thankfully, medyo nag-okay na rin kasi satisfied naman siya dun sa mga answers ko. So I went home, and like after 3 days, she emailed me again telling me that I could start in September. So that was in 2015. So it wasn't so hard at all.
I think I've heard to some English teachers here that when you enroll in a certain academy, then they will help you find a job. That they are going to recommend you to other tie-up schools, something like that.
That's right, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. That was the case. Since I took my TEFL course at EBC, so the EBC school had used my CV to submit to different schools. So one of those school was an one of those job was an in-company classes. So that was one of the help that the EBC had given to me. So they submitted my CVs to different schools, and one of them had called me for the work or for the job. So guys, as what I've said, talagang very important yung mga certificates kasi kahit na anong situation, for example, you were working to one company and then the employer has decided na i-fire sa. So ito yung ang certificates na talagang weapon mo in case something comes up. So pwede mo itong i-use to different schools. So if ever na mawalan ka ng isang trabaho from one school, you can apply to another school. So talagang certificate, TEFL certificate is very, very important. So kailangan talaga ito.
Alright, so let's proceed with our next question. Charis, where do you teach now? Or can you describe or can you tell us about your, let's say, employment, teaching experiences, something like that?
Yeah, okay. Well, before the lockdown, before the coronavirus pandemic, I was teaching at Newsland Academy. So it was my first job, and I'd been there for like 5 years. So nagtuturo ako doon ng different ages. So I taught young learners, so from 5 to 6-year-olds. I also taught primary students and secondary students. So the school or the academy provides the manuals, yung mga printouts, so you can present your topic during that time. So I taught 12 hours every week. So it started around 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock. But before that, I also taught in ECM. So it's like a company wherein they provide teachers to Catholic schools. So I did hora complementaria and extracurricular. So it's like babysitting young students. So you get inside the classroom, you teach the students. Practically speaking, you have to tell them or you have to talk to them in English. So talagang naging experience yun sa akin kasi from teaching young learners to adults, talagang ma-maximize yung time mo at yung nagbo-broaden yung experience mo in teaching. So basically, hora complementaria and extracurricular is like playing with them. and teaching them songs, teaching them rhymes or chants in English. So, but those lessons should be related to the lessons that the tutor is teaching to the students. And sa doon naman sa academy, medyo iba yun from aura complementaria because it's a bit rigid or more advanced compared sa aura complementaria. At the academy, you have to have your own lesson plan, so it's more advanced. You get to teach the students about phrasal verbs, especially sa mga higher students like primary and secondary students. So mag-teach ka sa kanila about some verbs, the present simple verbs, past simple, and the past participle, yung phrasal verbs, what else? Different figure of speech, so mga ganon. So it's a serious business when it comes to academy because you have to please the parents of the children, and at the end of the day you should make sure that you taught something para at least yung mga parents, because they're paying. That's right, they're paying good money, so you have to give your best na mabigyan yung mga anak nila ng tamang teaching or tamang lessons. But it was fun. Yeah, you get to have an experience and you get to have fun at the same time.
Just a clarification, okay? So I heard you taught in a formal school, no? Public or private school?
One was private and the other one was public school. So the other one was in Legazpi. The name of the school was Maria Jesus School. That was in Núñez de Balboa. So it was a private school. So I taught from 2016, I guess, until 2019. But then I got pregnant, so I had to stop working. So it was also different from the, teaching in the academy into a normal school.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's nice to know, because if you have this certificate,
That's
then
right.
you have a chance to teach in a formal school.
Exactly,
And that's
yeah.
great.
So before I forgot, it was Luz Casanova, the name of the school. So it's a semi-private school, Luz Casanova, and the other one was Jesus Maria School.
And how did you apply to this private and public schools? Through the academy, or you applied?
No, well, I looked it up on the internet. I found it in Lingo Bongo. So guys, don't forget. So make sure that you key in the word Lingo Bongo. So it's a web wherein you can find lots of teaching jobs there. So you get to advertise yourself as well. So it's Lingo Bongo. And then I found the vacancy, and then I click it on, and yes, I found the number, and I've called the number, or I think I emailed the school, the company, and the rest was history. They called me. Yeah.
That's great. No, it's just a matter of one click, no?
Exactly.
And you'll
yeah,
be
one
able
click
to,
away.
yeah, we'll find a job through
Exactly,
the web. So take note of that. So lingobongo.com, something
That's right.
like that.
Yeah,
no?
that's
Lingobongo.
right.
So there's a lot of teaching opportunities in this particular website.
Exactly.
Okay, so our next question is very interesting to most of us, especially those who would like to learn to this particular job, no? Teaching, English teaching. Okay, so of course, one would like to know how much, okay, or the earning, how much is the average income of an English teacher here, okay? So language teacher here in Spain, for example, you can give the approximated one.
Oh my, well, guys, I can assure that you can earn way more. I mean, yeah, well, I've known a lot of freelance teachers. So when you say freelance, yeah, you get to choose your own time. You get to choose how many hours you want to teach. So if you have the normal contract, on the other hand, it's quite different. If you've got the fixed contract, then your employer usually gives you the fixed hours to teach. But if you're a freelance, then you get to earn more. So being a freelance, I think you get to earn like 1,800 euros. Yeah. So you can work in the afternoon, for example, at the academy. So for 12 or 15 hours of teaching, you get to earn like 700 to 700 euros. That's in the afternoon. And if you decided to work in the mornings, like hora complementaria and extracurricular activities, yeah, you get to earn, let's say, 500 euros. And if you decide to earn more, then you can do in-company classes. And mind you guys, in-company classes is awesome. If the company pays well, then you get to earn well. And if you want more, then you can also teach online or at the weekends. So you can do private classes or face-to-face classes. So I think if you're a native speaker, you get to earn like 2,000 euros. In my case, well, more or less 1,400 euros. So it's up to the teacher. It depends on how she or he manages her time.
So for that 1,400 euros that you mentioned, how long is the teaching, for instance?
Okay,
the teaching hours.
So you can start in the mornings, for example. In my case, in my previous work, they gave me 6 hours. So I started lunchtime, during lunchtime. So 12 in the afternoon, 12 noon until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then after that, I ran to my other class, and that was in the academy. So let me see, a total of per week or per week. Let me see. So 13 hours plus like 20 to 25 hours, I guess, is the total or the maximum hours. But it depends on you. So 20 hours per week, you get to earn a lot.
Okay, so for that 1,400 that you mentioned, the academy will pay your seguridad social, something like that, or you'll be the one to pay. How's that?
Well, the thing is, my employer paid my seguridad social, but not the whole seguridad social. So she get a percentage out of the whole seguridad social. So, like for example, if working as a nanny, our employers paid the whole amount of the SSS, it's different. So, like for example, at the academy, so my employer usually pay, I don't know, 13% of the total seguridad social of my total SSS. So 13%. By the way guys, yung 1/4 na sinasabi ko, yun yung sa academy, yung pag-teach mo academy and the hora complementaria if you're doing hora complementaria or extracurricular activities. So hora complementaria or extracurricular activities usually start during lunchtime. So 1/4 para sa academia and hora complementaria. But kung gusto mo pang mag-earn more, then you can try company classes. So yung company classes, mostly nag-start yun mornings or after breakfast, I guess, yung mga around 8 to 9 o'clock. So pwede kang mag-earn if yung company na tinatrabahuan mo, they will allow you to teach for like 4 times a week or twice a week. So mag-earn ka ng medyo, let me say, 150 euros. Yun, in a month. And then, kung gusto mo pang mag-earn pa ng mas marami, then you get to have private classes. So, sa weekends naman yun. So, pwede kang magkaroon ng face-to-face classes or private classes sa mga young learners. So, pwede kang magturo. And then, you can charge the parents, for example, 15 to 20 euros per hour. So, malaki na rin yun. So, let's say, you get to teach every Sunday. So, for 2 hours or let's say 2 hours. So, 15 euros for 2 hours, so 30 euros. So you get to earn 30 euros every Sunday. So times 4, so a total of 120 euros. Right, Brad? No?
Yeah.
120 euros. That's for the weekends. And kung gusto mo pang mag-online, if you have time, for example, nighttime, gusto mo pang mag-online teaching, then I guess you can earn like 100 plus. So it depends. So let me see, a total of 1,400 plus 150 for the in-company classes. Again, let's say that again. 1,400 for the academy and the hora complementaria, and 150 for the in-company classes plus your private classes for, let's say, 120 or 150. So more or less, magkakaroon ka ng monthly income of 1.4,
Or just 1.7, 1.8.
Yeah, 1.7 or 1.8. So yeah, it depends talaga kung hanggang kailan yung kakayahan mo mag-teach. So guys, I'm telling you, yes, medyo mahirap yung course at medyo mahal, but I'm telling you, it will eventually pay off. Basta masigasig ka lang sa paghanap ng trabaho and you have the guts to teach and to present yourself, of course. And with the certificates, talagang makukuha natin yan.
That was indeed a very interesting session with you, Charis. So I really learned a lot. And of course, our viewers, our subscribers, and those who are aspiring teachers there, I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial, from this vlog. Okay, so for the last part, of course, our star for today, Charisma, would like to give you some more advices, pieces of advice about English teaching, or those who are aspiring to be English teachers here in Spain.
Well guys, the only thing that I can say for those who wants to be a teacher, those aspiring teachers, well, nothing is impossible with God. All you have to do is ask what you really need, or what are the desires of your heart, and He will eventually give it to you. So dreaming is one thing, and reaching for that dream or making that dream into reality is another. So don't be scared. Try to get out of your comfort zone. Kasi lahat naman tayo, we have these chances. So why not grab the chance? I mean, why not grab the opportunity kung meron na naman? So the only thing is have a career goal with specific career plans. Kasi you won't get wrong. You won't get wrong pag meron ka lang career plans or career goal sa buhay mo. And remember, nothing is constant but change. So if you have this opportunity for a career transition, then go for it, guys. Lahat naman tayo, we want something we want something better. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Right, thank you. We want better. We want something better. So that's the only thing that I want you to know, na walang imposible sa Panginoon. So take the TEFL course and go for it. That's all.
Okay, so those who would like to have this paradigm shift, change in career, then we take it from Charisma. Okay, so that is based on her experience. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. So for those who are new to our channel, Charis, they're going to subscribe.
Thank you so much, Brad. Please subscribe, okay? So click the button. Do you have the button, Brad?
Yes, there. So please click the button. And
subscribe.
Of course, the bell button so that you will get updated whenever we have some informative educational videos to share with you. Okay, so that was indeed a very meaningful afternoon today, guys. So thank you so much. Hasta luego.
Bye,
Ciao.
guys. Have fun. Bye.